I'm taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
But yeah, I know people want to talk about this Crawford shit because I know it's been trending on Twitter all fucking day since they had a little.
Let's get this shit over with.
Yeah, I want to enjoy this. So y'all started up. I'm gonna need Pilot to ask his weird left field advocate, devil's advocate question, so I can be entertained. So yeah, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna chill.
What was it? Step away.
Oh, damn, you give me stepping away at the most worst times.
Yeah, we about to talk about the Crawford comment, so we're gonna need you to play devil's advocate.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm the quote unquote bud tender. I'm the quote unquote bud tender on the panel, even though Pat is too. But yeah. So.
The bud what? Bud tender?
Bud tender.
What?
That's what the online.
I get it. That's bars, but that's
pause.
That's just like that De La Hoya video with the damn predictions.
No, I said this earlier. When it comes down to it, Crawford in the ring is a brilliant IQ. When it comes outside the ring, he ain't the brightest crayon out the box. I would have said straight up. I would have said, I know he already discredited the Spence one, but I would have said Porter and Spence, I retired both of them. I'm the only guy to stop them, and you had trouble with your toughest nemesis, older Triple G, twice. I would have said that. But I don't know how he can. I know he likes the Ricky Burns. I know he likes the Ricky Burns fight because that was his first title win in the UK or whatever. He always talks about that win. I don't know why. But
I mean, most fights.
It wasn't even a great fight.
I mean, it definitely was not a great fight to watch. I mean, it was cool because
it was a 116, 112 ass type of fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's only noticeable because HBO didn't want to buy it, so so I think Matchroom or whatever bought that fight. So
it
was on Wealth TV in a decent.
The Porter,
it wasn't Wealth TV.
Porter and Spence. I mean, Porter. I know Porter was halfway. Podcast Porter, but still, it was a good win. It was a good fight. And he's a two-time champion. You know what I'm saying? Two-time welterweight champion. So it's like you could have said Spence and Porter.
Yeah, I will say this. I mean, I don't think he has any malice against Porter. He might just not even think about Porter. But I think
they're actual friends. They're friends, low key.
They're actual friends. So I think it's just more with Spence because I mean he's gone on record before. He's downplayed the Spence win a lot. It's like because it was. I mean, part of it because it was easy work for him, and part of it because he was like he said I did what I always said I was going to do. Like and what like that type of mentality. It wasn't a good look letting Canelo, who's only got a grasp of the English language lately, to be getting off like that, bro.
Because he's always had that little sarcastic little twit about him, like.
Yeah, no, but now you can express it in English though, and that's what makes it bad. He has a simple question: name an elite fighter that you faced, and then and then he says Ricky Burns.
He said Paul. I know Pete got at me for it, but at least Porter and Brooke are notable names. You could have at least said one.
No, hold on. No, I didn't have an issue with you mentioning those guys, but you said Amir Khan. Now, why would he mention Amir Khan? Knowing that Canelo beat the fuck out of Khan already. So
yeah, true. Yeah, he could have said Brooke. I'm just saying those names are better than fucking Postol and fucking
wrong fucking names. Like
Gamboa
would have been fine. He beat the shit out of he beat Gamboa.
He did get rocked by Gamboa. Probably because he got rocked. He didn't want to mention it because people would bring
it's just one fucking moment. God damn.
One moment in an ass whooping he gave.
Yeah, if you're too afraid to mention one of your biggest wins because you got rocked in it, then what the fuck does that say about you?
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Facts. I agree.
So, honestly, like for example, to me, like Zab Judah's best win, like best performance wise, is a Tehran Millet fight. But he got dropped in that.
He got dropped.
But if you looked at his offense and defense, though, he was Matrix.
Yeah, he was firing on all cylinders on that fight and that's why everyone picked him to beat Zhu, and the rest is history on that one.
Yeah, so it be like that. So it, like King P said, like it's a fight. Yeah, you got rocked, but that's credit to Gamboa. Like Gamboa was undefeated. and he's explosive and has power and speed. So I mean, goddamn, it happens. So you got that fight there. Like, I don't know why you mentioned Ricky Burns when Gamboa's like the premier win of 135 for you.
I mean, Ricky Burns is one thing with Ricky Burns is I mean, mostly he's a 3-weight champion, so it's not like he's not accomplished shit. He has, he has his wins. He has 3 belts and belts in 3
I
divisions.
get it, but dude, the version he fought was like one of the worst versions.
Yeah, by that time, like that the Burns that he fought, that was a bullshit version of Burns.
Remember, dude, on Wealth TV the previous time,
bro,
he got his ass whooped by Beltran. Jaw broken, dropped.
Yeah, and then there was another fight that he fought a Cuban, and the Cuban was whooping his ass, but then the Cuban hurt his hand, and then he stopped the fight from Ricky Burns. I was like, God damn this.
Was Bud Gamboa a unification, or was it just a big fight? Was it a unification, or was Bud Gamboa a unification, or just?
No, it wasn't a unification.
It wasn't a unification.
It was just an anticipated fight.
Yeah, no, but I mean, Burns had his moments though, but. I mean, today, Burns has.
Those moments were long gone when he fought Bud.
That's true. Oh no,
he could have mentioned Kell Brook, Big Fish. Yeah, shout out to Jeremy, but no.
I mean, I will say though. I mean, I did think Burns beat Omar Figueroa though. I mean, that's one thing.
That's not saying much.
I know, like you and Pilot with these horrible arguments. Like
that's not horrible.
Like, I ain't even almost gotta go in like King P handling this shit. Like,
saying he got jobbed, that he got the bad decision against a trash fighter doesn't exactly mean a lot.
Well, that trash fighter had a 0 still.
Nah, but I mean my first point is better.
Oh, hold on, wait. Ain't that just karma for him getting the goddamn win over Beltran?
Quite possibly, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I don't say much about the Figueroa fight.
Yeah, I mean Burns though. I mean, he's for some reason he's avoided getting KO'd. I don't understand how he's never gotten KO'd. That's always been a big mystery to me because he should have been KO'd. Plenty of times.
I ain't gonna lie, he has quick hands and he has like a solid jab when he wants. So he does that thing, like I said, like. He knows how to kind of disrupt offense, and he got hard. He is tough,
yeah.
So he'll fire back. So yeah, like that shit. I used to think like, goddamn, how come Wayne McCullough's not getting stopped?
Yeah, well, Wayne McCullough just had a fucking like dull skull though. Although Scott Harrison almost pulled the trick though on that one.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
That's the name you don't hear.
Yeah,
fucking Scott Harrison. Wow.
Yeah, I remember. I thought he was gonna kill that guy.
He beat the shit out of dude.
I mean, to be fair, fucking Wayne McCullough did have a fucking caveman head.
He did because dude took some punishment from Eric and Hamed like it was nobody's business.
Yeah, and I don't know how the fuck he didn't get stopped with some of the shots that they were hitting him with.
Yeah, no, Harrison though he should have been stopped. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Bro,
Harrison was like landing like home runs on dude. The Score Boxing Chat, what it do, man? Greetings, salute, appreciate it. But I think Bud's biggest gift is in the moment of adaptability. He's gonna fight whatever fight Canelo wants until he takes over. Nah, I salute that. Like Paula said earlier, like Bud has a great boxing IQ, and he's one of those guys. I feel like Bud might be one of those guys where he instinctively knows boxing,
he can adapt.
But I don't think he could be one of those guys who teaches it or could evaluate or other shit. Like, cause the bias come in, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he's trying to force himself to see shit that's not there or see shit that is not in other people because of some other reason. Like, and I feel like, to have a great boxing mind, you can't be like that. Like, you gotta. No one's saying you can't have bias or but you gotta recognize when you do. Like, sometimes you gotta step back and go, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, sometimes the greatest fighters just don't make great trainers. I mean, Roy Jones is a great fighter, all-time great fighter, but he's trying to impart knowledge to some of these fighters, and with very.
I would say Roy Jones is a great trainer. It just he hasn't had the right fighter, but he teaches he could teach boxing but
you can't teach. You can't. The way he fought, you can't teach his.
Roy understands the basics.
He understands it. The problem is that the fighters that he's training don't understand that they want to mimic everything that he did before getting the fucking fundamentals down first.
Now, my example for what I'm saying with Roy Jones, I know Pat remembers the name. We talked about it before, but the nigga got he got robbed against Tony Harrison. I can't remember his name. Brian Peralta, is it?
Yeah, Brian Peralta.
Peralta, yeah.
Peralta. That's a perfect example of me saying I think Roy Jones is a good trainer. Because somebody like that was able to execute a good solid game plan and win in my eyes against a world-class guy in Tony Harrison.
Yeah.
So it's if you could do that at that level, okay, I gotta respect it. It just he got a lot of head cases with other people, and he hasn't had the right.
Yeah. That's what I feel with Keyshawn Davis when he was coming up. I felt like he was trying to do a poor imitation of Bud, but I think being the B&B camp, because I think Bomac's a great trainer. People thought he wasn't, but I think he's kind of proved that he's. I think it incorporated They did some things. They've tweaked some things with Keyshawn where he still has a little bit of the Crawford element, but it's not a full copycat. And I think Bud helps, with the young guys too. Of course, he's always there. But yeah, I know.
Whenever you at a gym and you training at a gym, the star fighter, the ace fighter, everyone kind of picks up a little bit from the ace fighter.
From him, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's like you see in damn Reynoso camp with Canelo. All of them niggas usually got horrible footwork, tree trunk.
I
use steroids. Yeah,
but I agree with what you said, Pat, about Roy, but like to an extent. But even then, people always just want to mention the Roy thing. Another guy, God rest his soul, Sweet Pea, all time great, but not training as a trainer, and he did that wasn't it.
Yeah, like I said, when he has some talent, Zab is probably his best in terms of actually leading Zab to a win.
And I didn't really. That was a weird fit.
That's just. Remember what Max Kellerman said? That's Pernell Whitaker with a punch.
Yeah.
The thing is that's another thing. I get it. Sometimes you're when it comes to shit like that, you're only as good as your teacher. You're only as good as your student. And I think mentally at the time, Zab was maybe too headstrong for a guy like Sweet Pea. Although I felt like that was a good parry. But it's something where I don't know if that would work over a long career.
Well, I didn't like that pairing for that, and that's one of the biggest reasons. The temperament is just not a fit. Who Zab is, that wasn't he respects Sweet Pea, but that shit was not gonna work. Not for a couple fights, sure, but after a while, like I said, his dad was the right guy for him.
I
always felt that as well too. I just felt like his dad always got the best out of him.
But I will say to play devil's advocate, I will say father-son duo trainers. Eventually, there's a level, right? There's a certain, level that they can actually that they plateau at. I feel like with most.
A lot of them become world champions 2-time.
I mean, if the father doesn't overstep their boundaries, then I don't think it would be a problem. But that's also a fighter thing. I think, I would always say if with a father-son trainer, I would think that sometimes the father should not step away, but at least try to get a different voice. Get different voices, get somebody else that will complement you, and just y'all can both just do it together. Pause.
Yeah, because sometimes it helps to get a second set of eyes. You adapt it. You know, because as you're progressing up the ranks, you know, more people
you
are
see
seeing.
Bill Haney do it all the time. Bill Haney's always bringing somebody, like a revolving door, which is probably a detriment to Devin actually to not have a consistent.
But that's the thing, like, see, and with Pernell Whitaker, like, and I know Pat remembers this, that Eddie Chambers and Calvin Brock fight, like, the father was fucking that fight up for Calvin Brock,
big time.
and we used to talk about this shit all the time because Pernell Whitaker was giving him the right advice, and he was losing his mind in the corner because the dude kept listening to his father, and we used to just be like, yo, man, you got fucking Pernell Whitaker in your corner telling you what to do, and you listening to your fucking father who used to be a goddamn banker or some shit, like.
Yeah, and you remember, that's actually a good example. Gabe Flores Sr., and I've met Gabe Flores Sr., like, Gabe is cool, but yeah, Gabe didn't do his son justice in some of them fights on Top Rank. Like, yeah.
Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, both two-time, multiple, champions. Teofimo even seems like Teofimo's is gonna ride or die with him. There's a certain level I feel with father and son duels that they split up. I know in a way, and his dad are
Yeah. Meanwhile, I don't think Gabe Flores will ever win a title. Like, I mean, ever since like the Lopez fight and the Cabrera fight too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But
he's another guy who defense failed him. Like, and for somebody who's like a boxer like him, because he doesn't have like the power like that. His power is like 5 or 4. Like,
yeah.
But so Gabe Flores is actually highly rated, the 130 division now, like in the rankings. It's kind of weird. It's crazy.
Yeah, but it's like he's lost a lot of momentum because when he fights,
that's basically it. Yeah, he lost a lot of momentum, man.
Because when he stepped up in quality opponent, like they put his foot in his ass, like badly.
So, he couldn't outbox him, like, and when he would try, like, he would get hit. Like, he was too hittable when he went to the next level of opponents.
Yeah. And also, I gotta mention this too, just to bring it back to Crawford. You Spence fans, just because he didn't mention Spence doesn't mean you have to call him a coon and everything like that. Because y'all were kind of wilding out with that. Like,
who's saying? Who the hell is saying?
Like, where y'all seeing this?
Yeah, I'm not seeing this, LB. Like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Nigga,
I ain't seen no shit like that.
I definitely saw some shit like that because it definitely had one of those Twitter hateful posts. It was blocked. I was like, why the fuck is this shit blocked? And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, you call him Crawford.
Nah, that's just weird. That's the look, man. Like, this what niggas gotta just come to realize. Like, you still got a few overzealous Spence fans who just, are still brokenhearted. Yeah, we get it. But, you gotta understand, like, Crawford went on a whole goddamn victory tour.
Victory lap. That shit was so fucking
lap.
long. Like, and the only reason, like,
and he's been unlikable the whole time.
I don't know why he said that shit. Like,
LB, the only reason why his victory lap didn't go even longer was because fucking Ryan took his fucking victory lap, and that shit, and he drove him off the. He drove Bud off that fucking victory lap.
That's what I was saying. See, and then the Magic Ball fight wasn't impressive enough to really use that as like a booster victory lap. Like, so it's not like he had another KO or domination ass whooping to really like okay, like, double down on the victory lap. But like you said, like the Ryan Garcia shit also. But yeah, so and like King and like Pilot said earlier, like, and this one just goes back to the teaching, in the training boxing part, like, Crawford say such crazy shit sometimes. I'm just like, bro, like, what are you thinking? Like
you could have said you
can hate Spence all you want, bro. Like, we get it. You didn't like you, whatever. He said some mean shit to you before the fight, but it seemed like Spence is over. Spence get his man props. He make fun of himself sometimes. He happy-go-lucky. He on his thing, but
he's at peace. Yeah.
He's at peace. Crawford just still.
He's a chip on his
got this hatred, like, bro. You didn't got your lick back. You didn't beat this man ass. Like,
you fucking retired him, and that's you could have
retired him. Like, yo, just give him the props as being your best opponent.
You could have said simply. Let me just get this out. I think okay, obviously Triple G Canelo was a big fight, 4 or 5 years in the making, got made. Same thing with Spence Bud. I don't know if same level, but close enough. And that's basically their career nemesis, their arch nemesis. You could have easily said, I stopped and retired Spence. You could even clearly get a victory over an older Triple G twice. You could have simply said that, but how do you get bodied by a non-English speaking nigga? Like, come on.
And that's the biggest takeaway, because it's like Canelo gave him a alley-oop that he could have used, but instead of jumping up and like doing like a crazy super special move, he like pokes his finger out or some shit. Like he does something super unexpected, and it reminded me of this damn Suge Knight interview with Double XL. He was like, I guess a dude, I think he just got out of prison, and this early 2000, and the nigga was like, the interview was like, yeah, I noticed you've been leaning, you got the cane. He's like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, when I was in prison, you know, I was playing basketball on the yard, and you know, I got an offensive rebound, and I went up like Vince Carter, but I came down like Kelly Price. And I was like, bro, you got the alley-oop, but you landed on some bullshit saying Victor Postol and Ricky Burns, and it's like all Canelo had to do is just, who's that? Like, I don't know those people. He stunned them with that shit. It was like a headshot reply, like bow.
Yeah. And, but like I said, I mean, Bud's got. I mean, I'll say this too, because now that you know Bud has no attention, Bud is gonna. I think it's just gonna do him. He's gonna say what he's gonna say, and he's not. I think he doesn't give a damn statement. I mean, the whole shit with his seventh child got highlighted, and it shouldn't have, because it's like, I mean. These are things now, because you know he's one of the top niggas in the sport, so it's gonna be like every negative thing that's gonna happen is going to.
But this thing,
it's me McIntyre for sure.
Yeah.
It does, but the shit he's saying is negative. The way he acts, even the shit with the 7 kids, like, and now you can't call it like, because Canelo got a bunch of kids, he got a bunch of baby mamas and shit. You know, but there's nothing recent. His shit is recent, but that's been going around with the Shannon Sharp interview. But remember how Bud responds to that shit is also nonchalant, like,
I'm just a man.
Damn scumbag shit.
I'm just a man. Let me try using that on a bro. I'm just a man. That ain't gonna work.
You better be the damn number 3 pound for pound fighter in the world, nigga.
I mean, he's that and a multi-millionaire. So
yeah, that too. Yeah,
but I'm saying just. But Q ratings on certain shit, bro.
Like I saw Crawford, you know, like in a month or two ago, like, you know, show up to his daughter's school with a new car. You know, he's there for all his kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know.
Yeah, that ain't the problem. It's just that was like what I don't know. You used to have like PR niggas and training, and you know, it's just a weird way to answer a question, or like I don't know, bro. It's just.
I mean, he's far from the worst I've heard, though. But it's just like, I mean,
in top 5.
I mean, he could be trolling, which I mean is enough, because I think that
nigga authentic as fuck. That's the problem.
yeah, broken. I think he's just gonna, and at the end of the day, he's gonna beat him. Like, I mean, you know, he's gotta say something like, you know, I mean.
But the hating, the Spence hatred is just corny at this point, bro. Like you rather bring up goddamn Victor Postol and Ricky and he was like saying, and this the part that killed me, talking about, oh, so what? Those names are commercialized? Like, nigga, you just got fucking commercialized, nigga, like 2 years ago. Like, Spence commercialized you, and you bringing up fucking Postol and Ricky Burns talking about, what, they're not commercialized? No, nigga, they not. Like, what the fuck is your problem, bro? Like, come on, man.
They're also not great. Like, they're good wins, but not great wins.
Thank you.
Because the problem is, here's the thing. I've never been one of those people that have shitted on Crawford's resume. I've never said it was bad, because it's not bad per se.
Well, no, only LB has on this shit.
No, I don't think it's bad in and of itself. The names are solid. The problem is when you got a guy that's looked at as the best fighter in the world, and you see that resume, it's good, but as Jadakiss said, it ain't enough. And then to go using some of those names and then trying to prop them up like they're bigger than they were. Oh, these are elite wins. No, they're not. They're just good wins. Nothing more, nothing less. We don't need to do just more try to inflate your resume. No, it's not gonna work. We saw it. We were there.
Thank you. That's my only point. And it's not hating or none of that shit, because I love Crawford as a boxer, like how his fighting style, like how he's mean and he beats the shit out of people. It just, when people talk about him like an all-time great, but he don't even have a great Hall of Fame, resume. He's a Hall of Fame, no doubt, but it's not one of those elite tier Hall of Fame resumes.
But I mean, the past 15 years, like we've talked about this many times, like nobody's gonna have the Oscar Floyd.
Did it stop Usyk?
Huh?
Did it stop Usyk?
Okay, Usyk has AJ. He has AJ and Fury. Okay, and
nigga got a Hall of Fame elite fucking resume. What you talking about?
I'm saying that the number of scalps. I'm saying like you go to BoxRec, you look at Oscar De La Hoya or Floyd Mayweather's fucking names of lists of fighters. You see, you got to scroll a little bit. I'm just saying this day and age is not the same, even for Usyk. And I'm not gonna argue that point. Usyk don't have a long list of names like that. The fuck.
It don't matter. He don't, because the names, like Usyk got like maybe 3 throwaway fights, nigga. Like, come on. And he still gotta. It's like when people talking about, man, I don't know, Sugar Ray Leonard. He ain't got no, he ain't really got, a lot of fights, man. Like 36 fights or whatever. But look at the wins, nigga.
I've always said before, like Crawford has, for American fighters, he has the best resume and active fighters in today, and just based off his records, no one has his. I
argue with somebody in my Discord chat. Shouts out my chat. This guy, buddy of mine's a big Jamal Charlo fan. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, Terence Crawford compared to the Charlos combined might have a better resume than both. I'm just being honest in terms of accolades and legacy. So I'm just saying you can poke holes in anybody's resume. I'm just saying.
At least Mel. Mel has a case for a Hall of Fame nod. So
for sure. But
Mel definitely a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure. Mel's a Hall of Famer. Mel's like one of the.
And that's not glazing Crawford to say he's had a better career than the Charlos. That's pretty accurate. Like,
yeah, and I'm saying combined because I'm throwing some sauce on it for
even combined, like you could still say
he's got more undisputed. He don't have losses. He's got a fucking more division champions. There's 3. He has 4. I'm just saying, so it's like, I get the names and the fighters, and I totally get it.
But, and Charlos be having some diehard fans too.
Yeah, some Charlo fans just kind of.
Them niggas could left hook that damn postal worker, and niggas would be like, he's the greatest, like he's best jabbing boxer.
You're right. I'm just reading your comments. If Crawford beats Canelo, then obviously there's gonna be some more conversations. Because
he's still a Hall of Famer, but. Does that move him up on the all-time great list? Fuck no.
Who? If Crawford beats Canelo?
Yeah,
Look at this version of Canelo. This version of Canelo is the Ricky Burns version of Ricky Burns when he fought him. Nigga,
people are saying if Crawford beats Canelo, there's gonna be some discussion. I'm not saying that. I might maybe.
What discussion?
I'm saying.
Fuck out of here.
No, he'd be a 5-division champion and a 3-time undisputed champion. Like there have to be there's few fighters that actually have that.
There's gonna be discussions had, and boxing's subjective. I don't think there's technically a quote unquote GOAT.
Look, the only way we having this discussion if Crawford knocks out Canelo. If he stops Canelo, yes, then we elevating that nigga for that. But if he don't, okay, whatever. Like, we've seen Canelo lose a decision, several times. Come on, what are we doing? This Canelo couldn't stop, so many trash niggas now. Come on, man.
Basically, beats Canelo, but obviously, if he KOs Canelo, then that's...
What the fuck is a Charlo to a Crawford,
that's gonna magnify his win. If he decisions Canelo, and it, clearly... or at least knocks him down. It has to be one of those decisive ass whoopings.
He really has to beat the shit out of Canelo where we're damn. It almost had to be I see why he ain't want to fight. Benavidez would have killed him if that's the reaction we gotta have for how bad Crawford beats Canelo. We literally have to say, I see why he didn't want no Benavidez work. Benavidez would have murked this guy.
Shuttleworth says, Shuttleworth hate black fighters. You glazing the white man alone and you always downplaying the brothers like Devin and Crawford.
But this is the thing, like, there's niggas, and shout out to Joshua O, wherever he is at, if he listening. And shout out to Chris Brand earlier. I see them in here, my bad. Anybody who's been listening to Ring Game for years, they know I'm not the biggest fan of Crawford and Canelo. So seeing these niggas fight is just anticlimactic to me. It's like seeing two people who disappoint you, but you know they're skilled and they're elite, fighting each other, and it's like, you know there's better fights for them than them two fighting each other. Like,
yeah.
So I'm looking at this shit straight up. Like, I'm not favoring nobody. I'm not glazing nobody. It's just
you'd be mad objective for this lineup.
Yeah, I'm talking about this. I always felt like I've been objective about them niggas. But if they're fighting each other, I'm super objective because what I got to prove, what I got to lose, like
yeah, you ain't really.
Like I feel like Canelo like got more boxing karma, bad karma. And I feel like Crawford, the fight kind of just stale. If all the experts and casuals are thinking Crawford wins, are 50% or 70% think that, it's like, come on.
I won't lie though, like the decisions are. I mean, the predictions are all over the place, and I don't know if a lot of it's going to be race based too, of course. But the real boxing fans, I do see a lot of different opinions, and I get it. So it makes it intriguing because these guys are the only two fighters. And mistake me if I'm wrong, but they're the only two fighters that kind of been on the pound for pound list for almost a decade. Like if it's 8-9 years, they're the only two guys that really been on a mainstay on the pound for pound list for a good, almost a decade.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to do that when you're avoiding guys like, David Benavidez. You dragging your ass to fight Triple G.
Yeah, I agree. But it's true though. I'm just saying that ever since 2017, ever since I started getting back into boxing heavy, they've been mainstays on the PvP list for sure. So.
But that don't mean we need to see them fight each other.
I don't want the fight. I was, as a Carver fan, worried he might get ice.
And then that bullshit ass push. Like y'all went from eating dinner together to now, like
I feel like Dana White told him, hey, and after the crowd, I feel like they made the crowd play it up. It was cool. I mean, I'll give UFC that. I'll give the UFC that. The press conference was a little bit more exciting just because the fans were loud and compared to Liberia, Saudi Arabia.
Of course,
you said the word, bro. Don't do this. I rock with you, but give more credit to the brothers, bro. Like what the fuck? Like,
but shout out,
like
Max Kellerman. I think Max Kellerman's gonna be on the. I hope Merchant's a little too old, but I hope they get at least Lampley, Roy Jones too. Roy Jones, Lampley, and Max for this fight. It brings a nice feel to it. That'd be dope.
Well, Max is confirmed.
Yeah, Max is confirmed, but I think they'll get Lampley on it. Lampley called the New York shit, so.
Well, Crawford beat all your white fighters. Shuttleworth, who's next? Look, Crawford had a chance to play up a black fighter, but he chose to, dick ride a white fighter. And Ricky fucking
we don't need Lampley on any more cards. We don't need Lampley on any more cards.
Bring Lampley back. Nah, fuck that. Bring him and Tarver back.
Because if you bring Max, you got to bring at least Roy Jones and Lampley. Like, come on, man, you got to bring both those.
Tarver and Max would be dope.
Yeah, but
what's wrong with Lampley? What did Lampley do wrong?
Because I guess his last fight, the last time they called it was in, but he still sounds like.
Wait! Y'all got to stop that narrative. Like, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
I thought Lampley,
I thought all of them did good, but there's a lot of glazing going on where niggas is like, man, Tarver.
The Haney fans hated Tarver's hate on Not say hate.
Niggas wasn't dude. That performance was ass water.
Yeah,
there was nothing positive to say about that shit.
But I'm saying for bringing the two pretty well-known fighters on Netflix, and you have the HBO crew, so all the old boxing fans go to it, open it up, and they see Max Kellerman and fucking Lampley and Roy Jones. That would be a nice nostalgic feel to it. I feel like
at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I think
he was playing on that shit. I think he was doing some poor trolling on that shit. Hopefully.
Is the fight at night or it's still in the daytime?
It's at night.
It's not confirmed, yeah. But I did see. I saw some of the upper fucking tickets cost not even the close tickets, like $900 in a fucking stadium. That's crazy. It's still expensive.
God damn.
Yeah, like $900 for like the.
That's everywhere, bro. Like none of these fights have cheap seats. Like that's not.
In a stadium. It should be a little cheaper. That's what I think.
It's never been that way. It never will be.
You spending $1,000 just to get in the fucking like nosebleeds.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, all these fights are like this. The only thing is inflation has kind of made the ticket price go up, but they've never been quote unquote like cheap. They've never been that.
Not for no mega super fight like what this is. Even though it's the most unwanted mega fight I've ever seen. Yeah, with those, nigga paying $500, probably you get up there, you sitting in the rafters like fucking Sting or some shit, nigga. Like motherfucker gotta send a drone up there to get you a beer and a slice of pizza. So yeah, like if you don't want that option, nigga, I guess you pay $1,000, nigga.
Yeah, just to get in, and then
you stand in the room. Nah, niggas gonna. I hope Netflix calibrate the servers or whatever the shit them niggas do.
Yeah,
so we can handle all of that.
Because it will be the most watched boxing event ever. Like the potential is going to be there. It's going
the most watched event ever. If we just being honest, like.
That's also true. You're right. Yeah.
Because think about it, if and I still think there's events that could get more watched than this, but for the present being, like, this is the biggest fight boxing can offer. So,
and like I mentioned before too, the women's fight is pretty much going to be the test of their servers and everything since it's in like 2-3 weeks. 3 weeks or so. So yeah, that's gonna be the test of their servers and everything, just to make sure that shit is right for something like Crawford and Canelo, though. But Crawford's comments though, like like I said, it's all. I'm pretty sure we have 2 months more of build up, so I can only imagine.
Think about it. Jake Paul and Tyson and Serrano and Taylor, they got what 60 million. They said 60 million views. That's the highest. Canelo Crawford could really do 100.
Easy.
And I think Serrano and Taylor for their main event, I think they'll do 20.
Yeah, and like I said, because the women's fight is the more hardcore-ish thing. It's probably the most hardcore event that Walmart has done. Not Walmart, excuse me. Netflix has done. So it's like they're probably doing it as a gauge. Like, do we want to take on more boxing, even if it's not like an event? Although Serrano Taylor 3 is an event, but
it's an ambitious event because it's an all-women card. So I hope they look at it as like, yo, we need to apply this logic to the men. Then, if we're gonna do a full women's card with all the biggest or most significant fights in women boxing, because low key that's what they kind of doing.
Right. So we
need to do that for the men fights.
Yeah. And so now it's the women will now have to produce, like, and hopefully they do produce and they go above and beyond. Like,
because they'll promote it. Watch the week of the fight, they'll promote that shit. Like, you're gonna really feel like it's an event. Like,
yeah, I know.
Niggas gonna be checking to see what fucking Baumgartner gonna look like. Niggas want to see some damn Sugar Neeks. Like all of that shit.
Savannah Marshall and all that.
Savannah Marshall, yeah,
talking shit, yeah, that type of deal. So
you got to get the obligatory Clarissa Shields tweet
hating on the event,
making it about herself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, I'm telling you, like, I think that card, 10 mil views at the minimum, and that's still good. Yeah. But I think it gets 20.
Yeah, and that is, like I said, I just hope, like I said, the action on that delivers. Because like I said, because that card's got to determine how Crawford and Canelo's card is going to be kind of done by Netflix in some way, like marketing and whatever, just to get more eyes on it and stuff like that. So
hey, hold on, real quick.
And for future fights.
That comment from Chris Brand that said something about Big Baby versus Big Baby reminded him of the Booker T. I remember that. I can't remember who he fought either, but I remember Booker T fought a ladder match fighting for the letter T or some shit during the dying days too. But it's kind of funny that they're going to make the Big Baby fight potentially on that card. At least we're getting some kind of rumors of the card because it looked kind of grim, man. No, there's no fucking.
Well, I mean, Turkey has been dropping a lot of prospective cards and whatnot, depending on like not just for that one, but for Monster and then another one like for like if like Cruz and or Zepeda like wins the belt, shit like that. He's been dropping a lot of like fights like that. So
I know Nopes Mason might be the title fight, the vacant title might be on there. Kelly, I saw like
I know, right?
Balkan versus Josh Kelly.
Nigga, this wrestling or boxing?
I must. Well, you can say there are some cats who do.
I must be in the wrong channel.
No, but that does remind me of because they're fighting for the Big Baby nickname. They're both nicknamed Big Baby. That's why. But
I mean, I'm not. I mean, the Big Babies. I'm not looking forward to no Jared Anderson fight. So it's like whatever to me. And
that's what I'm saying. Like this fight is like way too late, too little, too late.
Yeah, but
you getting both these niggas at their absolute worst, and they're gonna fight each other.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like probably in the next month or so we'll probably get the undercards for that one because I'm pretty sure they're done. Just they're probably just tweaking some shit or just make sure the contracts are signed before he starts.
I think because Netflix also might look at the Serrano Taylor shit as like if we get like how much of the hardcore fans we could pull too. Because then you might get fights that may not be a Canelo Crawford level, but like Ortiz Boots or shit like that, or Shakur Stevenson Tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, because Taylor Serrano 3. I mean, it's not like a casual thing because most people don't. Because unfortunately, there are people who still have outdated views on women's boxing, so it's not like the hardcore people understand that this is a hell of a card, but the casuals are either like unless they remember watching the shit on the Mike Tyson Jake Paul shit, it's like
I feel like the card's gonna kind of might flop a little bit. At least Alicia Baumgartner with MVPs knows what up. She's showing off her body and ass a lot on Twitter. I see her, so at least you know she's promoting somehow. But it feels like the buzz for it's not really hitting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not. It's really not there. But like I said, but it's just because it's the reason I just said it's going to be more or less the action is going to have to kind of.
But it's like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 weeks, give or take.
Yeah, let it get closer. It's still. Because they were buzzing in promo like earlier, like when he was signing all of them, and it kind of died down.
Yeah, because none of them are talking shit. It's just they're promoting themselves. They're not necessarily promoting their opponents or anything like that. So,
and that's what's kind of missing too. Like the Savannah Marshall and Shade Shagri needed to be like kind of some shit talking, interview something.
Yeah, there has to be something. But I mean, I'm just hoping like I said. I mean, I want it to succeed because it's like their first two fights were they were great watches, so I want them to succeed. I hope they do succeed, and I hope that people will just
also Serrano to get a decision this time because these niggas they keep fucking that up somehow.
Nah, damn a decision. I want Serrano to body Taylor. It's about time.
Yeah, hell yeah, I would love for that to happen.
You know
how they do.
Yeah, I'm make sure I'm gonna put money on that just off GP because it's gonna happen. Like damn that bullshit, yo.
It's like she be hurting and wobbling her, and like this bitch still be firing back and headbutting and all types of shit.
Yeah, no.